Hey guys, what is going on? So I just finished my second block with my coach Paris, and I'm moving into my third block here today. So I wanted to give kind of a summary of what happened over the course of this last block, in terms of strength numbers, how I'm progressing, what I'm working on, and then what we're doing in the next block, which is, starting today. So before that, just a kind of quick summary. I'm now on, starting month 3 or block 3 of coaching for the first time. Prior to this, I had never even really done programs. So this is kind of new to me, and, I like it and I'm getting good progress. So I'm continuing on that path. The first month, I made a lot of progress in areas that I otherwise wasn't really attacking on the regular. So that seemed to be expected. Obviously, as you do movements that you're not doing as much, and you're trying to progress in those, usually you do progress. I was progressing at a very fast rate and probably 80-90% of what I was doing. But I talked about this in my last video. My pressing strength was going down. I can go into more elaborate detail if people want to know, like, specifically why I think my pressing strength was going down. I have a lot of thoughts on that. I've discussed that with my coach, but basically, to keep it simple, frequency was significantly lower, volume was significantly lower, and my body likes high volume and high frequency for maximal strength. That being said, being really good at the skill of strength is not necessarily my goal right now. That's something that I can always go back to in the future. But building that base, building the muscle, and just doing everything to actually build my strength potential is more so my focus. And I want to actually build muscle in the prime movers, associated with bench press, associated with, shoulder press, overhead press, whatever, any pressing movement. And so I would much rather actually build those muscles, focus on volume, focus on building that foundation, and then also allocate more volume to my lower body lifts, which have been progressing very, very well. So basically, in the second block, we kind of completely scrapped the idea of trying to keep my strength high, because that would require a certain level of volume and frequency that's not really the goal here. That's what I was doing before. I'm here to do something different. I'm here to build something that I didn't already build. And, that's kind of the goal there. So we basically went from, lower reps, trying to keep that strength up there, to higher reps. And still similar level of volume, similar level of frequency and stuff like that. So it's not like I was doing a lot more pressing outside of just larger rep ranges. And during this second block, my strength started to finally turn the corner, and now it seems like it's on the way back up. That being said, it did dip a little bit in the first couple of weeks of the block, so now we're, coming out of that. Seems like I'm building strength now, although from a lower baseline, I'm building strength back up to where I used to be, and I'm doing it in a different style with less volume. What am I able to do with that other volume? I'm able to build muscle via accessories, really push those, really, have progressive overload with those. So I'm, getting bigger, and my lower body has been, performing extremely well. So the last kind of set, or the two movements that I've been, using for heavy compounds to gauge my strength have been my front squat and then my heel elevated high bar squat. So my front squats are paused. I did a pretty long pause, like 2 or 3 second pause, 345 front squat for a single. It was very easy. That was pretty shocking how easy it was. But as I continued to progress throughout that block, I kind of realized that it was going to be easy. So we're basically going to, in this block, continue to push the front squats, obviously do something more than singles and see how far we can take that. I haven't really had a difficult squatting session in a while, so we're just kind of gradually building that up. And then my heel elevated high bar squat, I was scheduled to do, I think, 360 for a top set of 6 on those on the last day. And it ended up being that I misread, and I actually did the week 4 weight, but I did it for week 3. And I also added 5 pounds because I knew it was going to be easy. So I did 365 for 6. It was way too easy. So we just kind of said, okay, let's significantly up the weight, see where we're at. I ended up doing 405 for a top set of 6. It was still very easy. So how many reps in the tank I had left, I don't really know. My coach said I probably could have got 12 plus with that. I said I had at least like 5 plus reps in the tank. So that's not really the RP that we were looking for. I was kind of thinking that I was going to be more so in like an RP 6 or 7, and that wasn't the case. So we're obviously upping that weight as well. So from those numbers, I know it's hard to equate, front squats, and my front squat is really not anywhere close to like what the max would be. So I don't really think that's valuable. And then the 405, like let's say I could have got that for a set of 10. I mean, I think that pretty comfortably puts my squat in the 500 somewhere. Also, this is high bar and it's heel elevated. So I don't think it's unreasonable to think that I could squat 500 high bar right now, if not more. And then low bar would be more than that. So, that's way higher than I would have expected at this point. And it seems like I'm just continually progressing. Like it seems like every time I add weights, it's not at a higher RPE. So, I don't know how much of this is just like, me reintroducing squatting, or if it's the programming, having me get bigger and stronger legs and everything like that. But whatever is happening is working from a strength perspective in the lower body. Again, the upper body from a strength perspective is starting to turn the corner, but I'm not at the strength levels that I was at last bulk yet. Even at a similar body weight. So, that's something that I think could be fixed with higher frequency. But as of now, I think I'm building, my triceps up and everything like that to be able to, in the future, be able to press more, when maybe there's a point where we want to do 4 upper body sessions a week and maybe do like pressing on every single one and try and peak that strength to some extent. But as of right now, that's not really the plan. So, yeah, everything is now moving in the right direction, especially the low body. So in this next block, we're just going to continue to push those weights. We're going to continue to progressively overload. Nothing has really changed in terms of, the exercise we're doing, other than we're pulling shrugs, which is a movement that I didn't think was super necessary. And we're adding in hack squats, which is something that I've never programmed. I never even had access to a hack squat until recently. So we're going to be doing that at the end of one of my lower sessions. I think that's a really good quad builder. And, between the heel elevated high bar squats, the front squat, and the hack squat, and then I'm also doing, obviously, a lot of quad focused stuff. I'm also doing leg extensions. So basically, we're building the quads, which is, I'm a posterior chain dominant squatter. And then I'm not deadlifting yet, but I'm still continuing to do RDLs, which is building my low back. I'm doing back extensions. So we're really attacking everything in the low body, and really working on weak points, and then just consistently seeing that weight add up. So I have no idea how much potential I have on the squat in the near future, but I'm very, very shocked at the level of strength that I've been building here recently. And squat seems to be turning out to be my best lift. And I still think I have a lot of room to grow into that, and it's something that I haven't really focused on very much at all. So I think I can take that really, really far, and I'm glad that I have a program that's allowing me to kind of continue to put weight on the bar, continue to grow, and I think I have a lot of potential in terms of quad growth from a muscle perspective, which is something that has been relatively untapped for me. So I think I have a lot of room from purely the neurological aspect of it, as well as the building actual contractile tissue in my lower half. So very excited on that. And as somebody who's been very upper body focused and just trying to build those strength numbers, now we're really just trying to build the muscle, which is something that I've probably been lacking a little bit in terms of like actually getting quality muscle growth out of my compounds. But then again, still doing accessories and stuff like that. So a lot of muscle size is probably going to be added over the course of this bulk. As far as my weight goes, it's been very, very inconsistent. I have been hovering somewhere between like 250 and 258, which is even for me, who tends to have quite a range when it comes to my weigh-ins, that's a pretty large weigh-in. So considering I've only been, programming for like 8 weeks at this point, and I started out at 242, even on the low end of that, I'm gaining like a pound a week, which is pretty fast. And on the high end, in the 258 range, which I don't think that's somewhere that I've ever consistently been, but I have had a weigh-in in the morning at that level, that's approaching 2 pounds a week, which is way, way too fast. So I am not sure how I'm going to continue to approach this bulk. It's very interesting how easy I'm gaining weight this bulk versus last bulk. I had to claw my way up to this body weight. But in the mid 250s right now, I'm having no issue at all putting on weight. Could be just due to lower activity levels. I have been working a little bit less, and my workouts in general are shorter than they ever used to be. But what this means is basically once I get into the 260s, 270s, I don't think I'm going to have any issue actually pushing my weight. Whereas during my last bulk, I hit a brick wall around the 265 level. So hopefully that's not going to be the case this time around, and I'm going to be able to build for several more months and put on a lot of size. So hopefully some of this size that I'm adding from a weight perspective is actual muscle. It seems to be the case. It seems like my legs are growing substantially, and just overall I feel like I've been growing, but specifically in my low body it seems like I've been making some significant strides there. So that's how that has been going. I will obviously make another update in another month, and let you guys know what's going on there. So anyway, that's all I got to say about that. I'll keep you updated, and I'll talk to you soon.